Welcome. It's Market Day Report. We're up and trading. Markets have been open nearly 14 minutes now. Let's jump into the corn market. Can we continue the gains that we saw in the overnight session? Now, yesterday, every row crop was lower during the day session with the exception of the cotton market, which kind of turned it around late in the session and finished higher. And in the overnight session, everything was higher except cotton. So we'll see where we go today. May corn, 4 higher, 458 1/4. And the December trades 485 1/2. It's up 4 1/4 cents. How about soybeans? Beans front month at 1172 1/4. That's up 3 3/4. We hit 1190 on the July contract. We're off of that high. And then November at 1160 1/4. It's up 4 3/4 cents. Wheat market. And here's Chicago, July 618 1/4. That's up 9 1/2. Hard red, now 11 higher, 639 1/4. And what about the cotton market? Is it the oddball today? Yes, it is. It's trading at 74.91 on the D's. That's down 17, but wow, 75 and 76 marked on the high side of both the December and March contract. Let's go to Dodge City. He's with EmpowerAg. It's Brady Huck. Okay, Brady, I want to start on the wheat side because we're talking about a drought right now across a good portion of the southern high plains. If you get moisture right now, it can still help that wheat crop, but root system, we must not have much of a root system on that wheat.
Yeah, wheat, I think if you got a rain right now in wheat country, you're certainly going to alleviate the drought, and that drought continues to intensify, Tony. I believe we're 65% of U.S. winter wheat crop is in drought status as of the Thursday morning drought update, and that just has continued to expand in the West. But moisture now is desperately needed. Wheat can hang on. Wheat is a resilient crop. It can hang on a long time without some moisture if it's got a little bit of subsoil moisture, got some root system under it. But there comes a point in time, April, May, when we need some rains to make some bushels, and we are at that point in time. So we're watching weather daily.
And I think the markets have picked up on this as well. I mean, you can get some rain and you can do some good, but again, you're not going to see the full potential with rains now in mid to late April, trying to put this back together. Right. What about this rally overall in the markets? What's driving us higher today?
Yeah, well, you still got the, it's definitely led by headlines. And, President Trump, our president, spoke last night regarding the conflict in the Middle East. And despite trying to reassure that the conflict would end soon, he vowed that he would hit Iran extremely hard in the coming weeks, and hopes to end that war quickly have certainly left the market. So you've got oil jumping to $112 a barrel. You've got diesel 50 cents higher overnight. Equities are down. We're giving back a chunk of the gains in equities this week. And that war in Iran just continues to drive the market and drive headlines. So seeing this war end anytime soon seems a bit optimistic to me, and the market has reacted here this morning, Tony.
Yeah, and it's not just here in the U.S. that we're seeing diesel prices move high. European diesel prices topping $200 overnight. Brady, how about a quick break here? We'll come back, pick up the conversation on the other side. Talking with Brady Huck. He's in Dodge City, Kansas, and we're back in a moment with Market Day Report. So we've been higher 5 straight sessions in live cattle, 5 straight sessions in feeders, but we're pulling back just a little bit as we open the gate today. April at 243.02. That's down $1.02. Talking live cattle right now. June 243.10, and it's $1.25 lower. We do know packers have got to buy some cattle either today. I guess they could do it on Good Friday. They sometimes will even trade on Saturday. So I guess they've got some time here, but the markets have not really been helping the packer out much here. as we continue to strengthen up. April feeders at 367.85, up 290, and May 262 lower at 365.37. Yet we're lower across the board, live and feeder cattle. Okay, hog trade is lower as well, with the June 104.52 and July at 107.10. Both of those contracts off 65. So why are we pulling back to start this final trading day of the week? Brady Huck is with EmpowerAg Trading. Brady, what are your thoughts? Why the pullback?
Yeah, the pressure on the equity market certainly bleeding into cattle this morning. So the comments, going back to those comments overnight with our president talking about the war escalation, equities down. I think the Dow's down 600 points here this morning overnight. So that adding some pressure to cattle overnight. So you got feeders down $2 to $3 and fats down $1. Not what we want to see here, but got a big 3-day weekend ahead of us too, going into Easter, and we'll see what that cash trade, how it unfolds going forward. But 3-day weekends are always a little dicey as you go into them. You got positioning going into those weekends, as traders don't want to be caught with the inability to execute over a big weekend.
Okay, so we were talking about the drought earlier. If we're talking about 65% of winter wheat in drought, man, cattle has to be pretty close to that.
Right. Yeah. We're seeing 64% of cattle in drought. That area continues to expand, and the intensity of that drought also increasing. 39% of the cattle in drought are in a severe drought versus the beginning of the year, Tony, when less than 10% were in severe drought. So the intensity of the drought continues to expand, as well as the area, and we desperately need some help here out in the West. And we've kind of got a story unfolding where the West is dry, and will the North and the East be wet as we enter spring? So we're entering silly season, and that's weather's going to be driving your markets, and we're watching weather every day.
Hey, Brady, I'm also kind of curious here. We got a USDA report earlier this week on planting intentions. When it's dry, though, you're kind of limited, because that region that you're in, southwestern Kansas, is, I mean, you got a lot of dry land acres through there, and then through the Oklahoma Panhandle down into Texas. Will this continuing drought affect some of those acres?
It's likely to affect some, but we are used to this. That's where we live. In the Western Plains, you're in a semi-arid region. It's a desert at times, and it's feast or famine. We can raise 60 bushel wheat, or we can raise 0 bushel wheat. So guys are going to plant the crop, whether it sprouts, germinates, and produces anything. We got a lot of cattle out here, and if the corn doesn't produce an ear, we will chop it into silage if we're possible. So it's nice to have that backstop there. But yeah, planting intentions earlier in the week, I don't know. I anticipate more corn going forward. I think guys like to plant corn, Tony.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. Brady, thanks for coming by. Brady Huck is with EmpowerAg. He's in Dodge City, and